Hello friends, in this video I have covered the basic and very important topics of Indian history in this video. So if we talk about the father of history in the world, we all know that Herodotus is known as the father of history. He has written a book Historia in which very chronological and he compiled all the events occurs in that time. So in proper way. So the father of history is known as Herodotus in the world, but father of history in India, Megatheres, he has written a book Indika and very proper manner. He has compiled all the events occurred in the during the 4th century BC at the reign of Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, so if you talk about the classification of history, so we all study in three parts of Indian history. That is prehistoric time 50 lakhs to 10,000 BC, proto-historic time 10,000 to 1500 BC, and historic period that is 1500. Uh, it is the time when Vedic period begins. That is 1500 BC to present. So historic period in which written records are available. History. What is history? History is the chronological study of past events. The word history is derived from the Greek word historia, which means research, inquiry, and investigation. Therefore, knowledge acquired through the investigation is known as history. The task of historian is to describe the past as it was. Herodotus is known as the father of history. History is divided into three periods: prehistoric, protohistoric, and historic period. So if we talk about prehistoric time, it is begins with 50 lakhs BC to 2500 BC. In this period, we do not have any type of written records. The period for which no written evidence is available. So this is called prehistoric. Stone Age and Bronze Age, we can say, because bronze script is available in Bronze Age, but it was not deciphered right now. It is not deciphered present time right now. So prehistory is the time in which we do not have any written records, and some archaeological remains are available to study the things. Proto-history, the period in which the evidence is available, but either their script hasn't been deciphered or written documents have not been confirmed in the archaeological evidence. Just like Indus Valley civilization, Vedic literature, yes. If you talk about later Vedic period, there is no any written records, because Vedas and yeah, epics are written in later Vedic period during Mahajanpada Kals, 600 BC around. Later Vedic period, which is begins with 1000 BC to 600 BC. So at that time, there is no written records available, but whatever is present, the script has not been deciphered. So this type of period is known as proto-historic period, and the third one is historic period, which begins with 600 BC till date. The period for which written evidence is available, uh, Mahajanpada to till date. So this is called um historic period. If you talk about prehistoric time, which begins with 50 lakh BC to 2500 BC or 3000 BC, we can say, the period in which no written evidence is available, that is lithic stone. This is known as prehistoric time, in which no written records are available. So it is divided into three parts, that is stone is 50 lakhs to 10,000 BC, second bronze is 3000 to 1500 BC, bronze, and third is iron age, which is 1000 to 500 BC. Later Vedic period, also known as and the evolution of Mahajanpadas in Indian subcontinents. So stone is further divided into four parts, that is Paleolithic age, which is 50 lakhs to 8000 BC. Paleo means primitive and lithic means stone. Mesolithic is which begins from 8000 BC to 5000 BC. Here Meso means middle and lithic means stone. Third one is Neolithic is 5000 to through 5000 to 3000 BC. Neo means new and lithic means stone. Chalcolithic is Chalco means it is the combination of two periods, that is uh, stone age and bronze age. It is the transition period of stone age um, and bronze age. It is known as chalcolithic age. So chalco means stone plus bronze, copper and tin, and lithic means stone. Chalcolithic age is the transition period of Neolithic age, in which there is a new things are evolved, just like discovery of copper and tin. A new alloy are formed or made up of with copper and tin, that is bronze. And second is bronze age, which begins with 3000 BC to 1500 BC. Bronze is actually alloy which is made up of copper and tin. Alloy means misr dhatu, combination of two or three metals. The material obtained is called alloy. Bronze period is one first urban civilization period, also called IVC, Indus Valley Civilization, Harappan Civilization, and Saraswati Valley Civilization, also because of it very close to the Saraswati River in previous time. Iron Age begins with 1000 BC to 500 BC, a later Vedic period, evolution of Mahajanpadas. In later Vedic period, and yes, there is epics of Mahabharata and Ramayana and Vedas, which all the documents written in this age, that is Iron Age. Yes, so the Iron Age is very important period of ancient history, because we have proper and absolute written documents to understand the ancient history of India, just like Vedas, Mahapuran, uh, Brahmad, Aranyak, Ramayana, Mahabharata. There Buddhist text also and Jainism text also. So these are the epics and records which have mentioned very proper way of ancient history. Second is proto-history, which begins with 3000 BC to 600 BC. This is the period for which evidence is available, but either their script hasn't been deciphered or written documents have not been confirmed in the archaeological evidence, just like Indus Valley Civilization and Vedic culture. So ancient India begins with 3000 BC to 712 AD, covers Indus Valley Civilization and Vedic culture. 3000 to 1500 BC IVC, and Vedic culture 1500 to 600 BC, which included early Vedic period 15 to 1000 BC and later Vedic period 15 to 600 BC. Medieval period, which begins with attack of Muhammad bin Qasim in India, a foreign invaders. Okay, a foreign invaders which first time. Uh, yes, we all know that Alexander invaded in previous that, but there is change, drastic change in India by attack of Muhammad bin Qasim in 1712. So this period regarded as medieval India, which is completely changed from the ancient India and ended up to 1707. It included divided into parts, that is early medieval period 712 to 1190 AD, and later medieval period 1196 to 707 AD. Modern India 1707 BC से 1947 AD. It covers basically three parts, that is advent of Europeans 1498 to 1600 AD around. Colonial era, that is British India 1757 to 1947. It is about 200 years. Okay, and the Gandhian era and national movement 1940 to 1947. So ancient India, the topic covered in the ancient India are prehistoric period, uh, 30 lakhs or 50 lakhs we can say, and to 600 BC. Indus Valley civilization, around 3000 BC to 750 or 1500 BC. Because 200 times the Indian history we don't know about, but we almost it's suppose 1500 BC. Vedic literature 1500 to 600 BC. Mahajanpad period 600 BC to 322 BC. Mauryan Empire 322 to 185 BC. Post-Mauryan or pre-Gupta period, that is 185 to 319 AD. Gupta period, that is 319 AD to 550 AD. Post-Gupta period and Vardhana dynasty 550 to 647 AD. Medieval period of Indian history covers basically three things, that is early medieval period, basically 712 to 1206. Also suppose it is suppose that 647 to 1206 AD. Sultanate period 1206 to 1526 or 1526 it must be, 1526 यहाँ होना चाहिए. मुगल पीरियड 1526 से 1707 AD. Ring fence policy, in which Britishers take over the control of around this area in which they lived. So they basically they control the territory around the area which where at which where they live. Okay. Subordinate union policy, equal federalism policy, national movement, first phase Congress, second phase Congress, 1885 to 1905, 1905 to 1970, and the third phase, that is Gandhian era, 1970 to 1947. Moderate phase, extremist phase, and Gandhian phase. If you see the timeline of Indian history, it is divided basically into two parts, that is prehistory and history. Also three parts, that is prehistory, proto-history, and historic period. But if you see the broad division, it is in two types, that is prehistory and historic. So the prehistory time contain stone, bronze, and iron age, in which no proper written records are available, and historic times is the time in which written records are available to study the history. Prehistory, stone age and bronze age both are included. So Paleolithic, stone is divided into three parts, that is Paleolithic, Mesolithic, and Neolithic. Paleolithic means primitive age, Mesolithic middle stone age, and Neolithic is new stone age. After that bronze and iron age occurs, in which there is a use of copper and iron drastically. So this period is regarded as copper and iron age, which contains copper age, bronze, and iron age both. It started from 305 BC and ended about 600 BC. Bronze age. Bronze age basically 3000 to 1500 BC, or 300 5000 3500 3500 BC to 1500 BC, that is bronze age. And copper age. Iron age is basically 1000 to 600 BC. So if we begins with the Indian history, that is Proto-Historic period, which begins around 3000 BC to 600 BC. The first urban Bronze Age, the first urban civilization, also called Bronze Age civilization or Indus Valley civilization. Sometimes it is also known as Saraswati Valley civilization, because in ancient time this civilization evolved at the near about Saraswati river. So if you see the Indus Valley civilization mature phase, um, so this is the major sites of Indus Valley civilization, just like Harappan civilization at the bank of Ravi, Mohenjo-daro at the bank of Indus river, Lothal at the bank of Luni river around. Okay, Dholavira, Run of Kutch, Kalibangan. These are the major sites of Indus Valley civilization. And the contemporary civilizations are Mesopotamian civilization, also called Tigris, Euphrates Valley, Egypt, Nile Valley civilization, and same time China. In China, Huangho Valley civilization at the contemporary. Uh, Hadappa at the bank of Ravi River in Pakistan, Punjab province, district Montgomery district in Pakistan. And Mohenjo-daro means Mount of the Dead, Mritako ka Tila. In 1922 discovered by Rakhal Das Banerjee. Place Pakistan, Sindh province, district Larkana district and river Indus. In Hindi also known as Sindhu river. Chandudadu 1931 discovered by N.G. Mazumdar and Nani Gopal. Place Pakistan, Sindh province, district Montgomery district, river Indus, Sindhu or Saraswati. Fourth one is Kalibangan, which means black Bengals. In 1953 discovered by a ghost. 1953. Okay, Luigi Pio Teshoshri. Okay, British foreigner names also named the discovery of Kalibangan. Place India, Rajasthan province, district Ganganagar district, river Ghaggar river. Last one is Lothal, 1955 discovered by S.R. Rao. Place India in Gujarat province, district Ahmedabad, Ahmedabad district Gulf of Khambat, river Bhogwa, tributary of Sabarmati. Important site of IVC. If you talk about Harappan civilization, that means the food of Shiva. Excavated by Dayaram Sahni 1921. Location situated on the bank of river Ravi in Montgomery district in Pakistan of Punjab. So important finding: sandstone statue of human and anatomy, granaries, bullock carts. Second is Mohenjo-daro, Mount of the Dead, Rakhal Das Banerjee in 1921 to 22. Situated at the bank of the river Indus in Larkana district of Punjab, Pakistan. Important findings: Great Bath, Granary, bronze dancing girl, a seal of Pasupati Mahadeva, street light statue of beard man, a piece of woven cotton cloths. Important sites of IVC: Sutkange Door, excavated Steen in 1929. Location in southwest Balochistan province, Pakistan, of Das River. Important finding: a trade point between Harappan and Babylon, Chandudadu. N.G. Mazumdar 1931. Location Sindh on the Indus River. Bed maker shop, footprints of a dog chasing a cat. So these are the findings in Chanduduru. Ambri, N.G. Mazumdar 1935, on the bank of Indus River. Antelope evidence. Kalibangan, which means bangles in the black color. Ghost, discovered by Ghosh in 1953, Rajasthan, on the bank of Ghaggar river. Fire altar, camel bones, wooden. Lothal, R. Rao in 1953. S.R. Rao, Gujarat, on the bank of Bhogwa river near Gulf of Bombay. First man-made port dockyard, Lothal. Rice husk, fire altars, chest flame. Sudkotada, J.P. Joshi in 1964. Gujarat. Bones of horse, beads, Banwali. R.S. Beast in 1974. Hisar district of Haryana. Beads, barley, evidence of both pre-Harappan and Harappan culture. Dholavira, R.S. Beast 1985. Gujarat in Run of Kutch. Findings are water harnessing system and water reservoir. Kot Diji, Fazal Ahmad 1953. Sindh province, Khairpur place. Alamgirpur, Yagyodatt Sarma. Meerut district of UP near Hindon river. Rakhigadi, Haryana Hisar district. Rangpur Rangnath Rao 1957 to 58, Kathiawar district of Gujarat near Madar river. Ropar Yagdat Sarma 1953 to 56, Ropar district of Punjab near Satluj river. Ganeri Wala, a place near Ghaggar Hakra river. Manda near Aknur to Manda near Chenab river. Okay.